Hi everybody, it's me. I'm back. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. It's been a couple of weeks since my last video. Um, in the beginning of the month, I had some challenges related to eating and nausea and all that stuff. So I'm back. So let's see particulars. We I had my surgery October 4th. It is January 28th. So we're about to hit our 4th month, but I didn't want the January to pass without doing a video about how my 3rd month went. First of all, Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully everybody had a safe holiday, spent it with their families. Second, I wanted to apologize that I keep on doing these videos in my car, but I have a pretty lengthy drive, and once I get home, I don't have much privacy. With the kids running around, the grandson running around, they're in and out of my room. But if you don't like the car videos, let me know and I'll just make more time at home. I'll figure out something. So let's see. I don't think I often give you guys my stats, and I apologize for that. I always mean to, and it just passes right by me because of what I want to say. My heaviest weight was 224. Surgery date was 211, and as of right now, I'm 161. So it's a total of 62 pounds, I think, which is great for being in my 3rd month. So some of the issues that I had in previous months that I have shared with you guys was I had the nausea, not being able to eat or drink any much, excuse me. But what I've noticed that almost to the day that I hit 3 months, all of that changed. I haven't thrown up. I've been able to eat more, which concerned me, drink more, which concerned me, and it shouldn't concern me, but when you're going 2 months on such limitations, you're saying, hey, wait a second, right? One thing I want to address, I believe somebody in my last video left a comment stating that it shouldn't have too many mandarin oranges. Now, they're not mandarin oranges, they're clementines. They have a different taste, but so great concern, right? So I asked my surgeon on my last visit, and he said, no, by all means, if that's what your body's craving, then make sure you have it. One thing he suggested, because all I was doing is just drinking the juice of it, he said he wanted me to swallow some of that pulp if my stomach can stand it, because it has a lot of fiber in it. So I found that very surprising, because I told him I was having about 3, 4, 5, 6 a day, and he said, this is one piece of advice that he gave me. Don't deprive yourself. If you're craving something, have a small amount of it. Chances are that once you get the taste out of your system, that you'll either not want to get back to it, to continue to have it in moderation, and 3, your stomach may not handle it anymore, may not tolerate it. Your taste buds may change. For example, I was a person who loved McDonald's French fries. Love McDonald's French fries. And my daughter had a Happy Meal, and I was like, let me just take a little taste, because I didn't have anything. Took a little taste. One, the taste was totally off from what I was used to. 2, once I had it, my stomach completely did not like it. And then another day, I said, let me try it again. Maybe it was just that French fry. And no, I don't like those French fries anymore. I don't even care for French fries anymore, which is so weird, because you have this surgery, and you're like, well, you don't stop getting used to, stop wanting what you want and it's going to taste different, or you're not going to want it anymore. But for sure it is. So that's a good thing, because I don't need to be eating french fries at all. It's unnecessary. What else? I'm doing much better on my vitamins. As soon as month 3 hit, and here's why I haven't been on. As soon as I hit 3 months, my hair started falling out. Like, ridiculous amounts. I had to chop my hair off. I literally, it was probably more down here somewhere. And I went to the hair salon. And I went to the hair salon within days of it starting to fall out. Now I had noticed little bits of it. And I was like, okay, it's tolerable, manageable. It's something I was aware was going to happen. And I went to the hair salon just because I needed to get my hair touched up, not because of the issue. But on the day I went to the hair salon, my hairstylist was freaking out. She was like, oh my God, what's going on with you? Now, I hadn't shared with her that I had surgery, and she's brushing, and they're just coming out from the roots, and she's putting the color, and as she's putting the color, the hair's coming out with the brush that she's coloring, and she's like freaking out. So finally I told her, and she's like, oh, okay, I understand. And I hadn't had plans to cut my hair, and she said, hey, look, I had a client previously who had that procedure, and she had a couple of strands in her hair, and I was begging her to cut it, and she refused. So she's walking around with these strands and thin hair, and she refused to cut it. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. I was like, okay, cut it. Now, she wanted to give me an asymmetrical bob, and I was like, absolutely not. She was like, but if I do the standard layers in your hair that you're used to, it's gonna seem more thin than normal. I'm like, okay, well, don't give me the layers that you normally give me. Just give me, at least some layers on the side that I'm used to, putting my hair to the side. And she did that, but she was so freaking out. And at that point, I was okay with it because, like I said, it's something that's expected. We all know that it may or may not happen. It's internally, not anything to do with our follicles, of our hair. So I was okay with it. But now, in the past week or two, my hair has been coming out. I'm afraid to wash it. I washed it yesterday, and I had 2 balls of hair in my hand, like not little bits, like big mounds of handfuls of hair. And I don't understand. Like, I know some of it is expected, but I take 3 different types of vitamins for hair. I take the VitaFusion hair and nails. It's 3 gummies you have to take. I take a biotin berry melts in the morning, and I take a some Publix brand Healthy First pill for biotin. So I'm like, imagine if I didn't take it. You can see how thin it is up front. But hopefully I'll have some hair left by the time this is all done. The one thing that's concerning me, and I'm going to address it with my surgeon next week when I see him, is I'm able to eat more. I don't think I'm supposed to be like this on my third month. So, for example, and no food police, please, or I'm open to your comments. I'll have one prior to this month. I would have a chicken nugget. They have either from McDonald's or from Chick-fil-A, the ones that are not breaded. I would have one, and I'd be completely and utterly stuffed, completely. But now I can it takes 2 to get to the same amount of fullness as I did previous month. And I said, well, am I doing something wrong? Am I not using my tool the way it's meant to do? The doctor said not to deprive yourself. And I'm losing weight. Honestly, I'm losing the weight, and I'm just concerned that within another month or two, I'm gonna be stretched out. And my doctor's like, no, don't worry about being stretched out. You're still gonna have that restriction. Blase, whatever. So I'm gonna touch base with him again. In the meantime, I'm not eating things that I shouldn't be eating. I'm preparing my food at home so that I don't have to think of what I'm gonna eat. Now, I don't think I'm eating enough, and I think that I'm mentally restricting myself to where it was just recent post-op. So when you're post-op, the surgery, you have swelling, so you even have more restriction because of that swelling. I read that in month 3 is when the restriction lightens up, the swelling goes away. So I'm thinking that's what I'm feeling, because let me go over what I had today. So today I had a Fairlife milk, the French vanilla honey oat, and that milk is delicious. It really, really is delicious, and I'm so glad that I decided to try it, because I normally don't like milk, and I know a couple of people on my groups have talked about it and said that that milk is a good milk to try. And I tried it and I like it, but I can't drink the whole 8 ounces. I can only get maybe 2 to 3 ounces of it down. So I had about an ounce or 2 today of that. I had 2, and here's another thing. Prior to, I couldn't tolerate bacon. I didn't tolerate it at all. Doctor said it was okay to try. Then I was just having 1 slice of bacon, and for the past month, I can tolerate 2 strips of bacon. But that's it, and it doesn't bring me to fullness. It's just to content. So I had 1.5 slices of bacon today. After that, I had the Fairlife milk, the 1 to 2 ounces. Then I had a 2-ounce serving of salsa. In every 2 ounces of Tostitos salsa, there is 15 calories. And I had that with whole wheat circle round Tostitos. They're like really small. It's the Target brand. And I had, the serving size of that is 19 Tostitos and 160 calories. I had 6 Tostitos, and I want to say that when I totaled it up, it was maybe, I don't want to lie, maybe 7 calories. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that. And that was all between 8 a.m. and 11:30. So recap: 1.5 slices of bacon, 1.5 ounces or 2 of the Fairlife milk, 2 ounces of salsa with 6 of the little rounds. For lunch, I had 1.5 ounce of tuna. Now I made the tuna with the smallest can that they offer. I cut that in half. I put half a tablespoon of mayonnaise, a couple of grams of onions and green peppers. Mix it up. So I had 1.5 ounces of tuna fish with 3 pita chips for lunch. And then I didn't have anything else except for my drink, which was Snapple, Diet Snapple half and half. That's on my list of approved drinks to have. Diet Snapple half and half is 10 calories. In a whole day, I can only drink half a bottle. So that's 5 calories. And that's all I've had today. Once I get home, I'm gonna make stuffed peppers. I can probably eat about 1/4 of a stuffed pepper. The rest, I'll save another 1/4 for lunch for tomorrow. Now, the stuffed peppers I make, I found it on the bariatric, it was a bariatric Pinterest. Now, their version, and I didn't get corn, their version included rice, but I'm not including that in my version. Now, in the version for my family, what I'm gonna feed my family, it's gonna have rice, but my serving will not have rice. I'm Spanish. I still tried the rice, and I've decided that is not worth it. It makes me sick to my stomach, and it's just not worth it. I've never been a big rice person, but I've had rice at least once or twice in a week because it's like the Spanish thing to do, but it's not a, oh my god, I need rice. So I'm done with rice, or at least for now. So I'll have my stuffed pepper. I'll just eat the stuffed pepper. I don't need any sides with it. It's just ground pork, ground meat, half ground meat, half ground sausage, onions, green peppers, chopped up, rice and corn, although I forgot the corn, so I think that's something that, unless I decide to go get, and that's it. Yesterday I made chicken teriyaki stir fry. My family had penne pasta with it. I don't do pasta, don't try it, don't eat it, don't want it. I had mines with lettuce, and I was totally okay with that. Before I forget, Taco Bell, if y'all like Taco Bell, they have the Power Menu Bowl, less than 500 calories. Now, depending on what you put in it, can decrease or increase your calories. I take out the rice. Like I said, I don't want rice. I add ground meat. So the only thing I keep in mind is the ground meat, because you have an option of chicken or steak, but you have an option to add ground meat. I add the ground meat, take out the steak, and then my bowl consists of ground meat, shredded cheese, shredded lettuce, black beans, and light sour cream, and avocado. Now, it's a decent sized bowl. It's a good sized bowl. I can eat half within 2 days, and then I have to dump it because it's all soggy. But I can eat a quarter, like that much, for dinner, and then the next day I'll have it for lunch, and then it goes out after that. One thing I have been doing is I got a food scale, and I've been measuring out everything to a T. So for instance, a good source of protein is, excuse me, pistachios, peanuts, cashews, almonds. But eaten at the wrong moderation, you can become in big trouble. So for example, I had bought a big bag of the peanuts with the shell. I figured having to crack the shell would make me eat less of them, but they're very addicting, obviously, and I could tolerate peanuts like no one's business. But I don't let myself get there. Although I didn't realize it until I was wondering why I wasn't feeling well and just a whole bunch of different issues. So what I did is that I serve my servings. So I took a can of, it's like nutrition peanuts, heart healthy peanuts. And I literally put them in a 2-ounce plastic container, and I measured out the serving. And that's one of the things that I had brought for my lunch today. But I'm still good from lunch. I just remembered I had a stick of cheese I didn't eat. I'm still good from lunch, so I didn't deem it necessary. Because what was happening is that I was eating lunch or restricting myself, not knowing my portions, and when I got home I was so hungry, and I'm not a big chips person. I don't, but the Wise onion and garlic, I think that's something that's like attracting to me now, because in the beginning was, pickles and watermelon and the oranges. Now it's the salt factor, and for me is this addiction with the chips. Now I don't sit with a whole thing of chips. I can't even eat a serving, but I would go home and eat the chips, and I'm like, hey, I'm falling into the same routine of what got me here, right? So I needed to do like an action plan. Like, what's my action plan to get away from these chips? One, don't seek them out, because they're not sold everywhere. They're not sold in Publix. They're not sold in Target. And I have seldomly found them in Walmart. So if I go to Walmart and see in Walmart, I got so excited, I grabbed 2 bags, and I was like, no, this is a no-no. So once this bag is done, I'm not buying anymore. And those are the only chips that I really care for. All the other chips, they didn't taste the same. Not that I should be eating them, but I'm not trying to deprive myself of anything, but I'm trying to find healthier options. So I got the peanuts, I got my cheese sticks, and what's happening was that for instance, my cheese stick is 100, and is it 106? No, it's not 106. It's over 100 calories. And my brain mentally would say, I cannot eat something that's 100 calories because I don't want my calories to go up. And doctor said, don't count calories, focus on your protein, and then take it from there. So good sources of protein that I like. I'm not a big chicken person, but I have been eating chicken. But I've been eating a lot of tuna, a lot of codfish. Now, a lot of codfish that I've been buying has been breaded. So what I'll do is bake it and then peel off the breading. And they come, the first one I got was way too big. It was like this, and I had to spread it within a couple of days. The next one was like about that. I could tolerate it a little bit. Um, the next one, then I decided to get fresh codfish and make it my own. I made my own codfish salad. So what you do is you take the codfish, get the ones without the bone, uh, boil it for, no, soak it for a half an hour. Well, I would soak it overnight because I soaked it for a half an hour and it was still very salty. So soak it overnight, take it out of the refrigerator, pat it dry, put it in boiling water. Let the water boil for 15 minutes. Drain the water, refill the water, let it boil again. When it comes to a boil, drain the water, refill the water. So you're going to refill the water 3 times. And when it comes to the boil, the last boil, then you can take it out. Take it out, drain it, pull it apart because it's very easy to pull apart. Make sure that there's no bones stuck in there anywhere. I found one. It's not a big deal, but those, when you eat it, it's not a good feeling to get one of those stuck in your throat. Break it up, set it aside, then chop up half an onion and half of a green pepper, finely diced, and half of an avocado. Drizzle it with olive oil, mix it all together, and enjoy. It lasts a couple of days. Now, if you're one who's squeamish when the avocado turns dark, it's not gonna last you that long. But when you bite into avocado, it's green. It's just, it has oxidized. What did I eat it with? I had mine with salad. A couple of pita chips once, and then the second time I had it, I just ate it plain like that. It's really good, and it's a good source of of protein. It's the only fish I like, aside for whatever's in the fish stick. I don't like any other fish, unfortunately. I tried to like tilapia, but it's the most nastiest thing that I've ever tasted, ever. I'm afraid to try salmon because I don't like anything with red inside. Anything that has pink, anything like that, it freaks me out. So I'm afraid to try. I want to try. I'm afraid to try it. I will eventually try it. I'm not that brave yet. Oh, and the one thing I tried that I told myself I would never ever try again, turkey. Now, way back when, in my 13-year-old was 3, I tried ground turkey. It was the most horrible thing ever. I made it into little meatloaves. It was disgusting, right? To me. So my daughter had bought turkey burgers and she'd been eating them, and I was like, absolutely not. And I tried it, and it was so good, so good. She seasons it up aside from whatever is on the patty itself. So she'll put it on a frying pan, no grease on it, thaw it out a little bit, then sprinkle a little of adobo. Y'all don't know what adobo is? Y'all need to try it because it has everything in it. Go on in the ethnic aisle, adobo. It's really good seasoning. And obviously I told her not to put a lot on mine, and I enjoyed it. It was really good. Now, obviously I can't eat a whole patty. She took more than a half a patty, and I left a bite of that, but it was still good. What else? I'm just trying to discover things. I found a bariatric meatloaf, mini meatloaves that I want to make. I'm gonna make that sometime this week. Today is the stuffed peppers. So yeah, I think that measuring things out and pre-planning has been a winner for me. And I said, like I said, I'm still losing the weight. It's not about losing weight for me. It's not about losing weight. Um, and I have a couple of days stall, but there's not a week that I don't lose something. But that's not what it's about for me. It's about getting healthy. I don't want to lose the weight and my mindset hasn't changed. My brain not revamped into things that I should be eating, because shouldn't be eating certain things. I know this. There's a lot of things that I've decided that I'm not eating anymore, and I don't eat it, and I don't crave it. But if I crave something, I'm gonna taste it and then, move on. I admit everything to my doctor. I have the bariatric app. I log everything in correctly, because if you cheat on the app, you're only cheating yourself. Your doctor's not cheating your doctor. You're cheating yourself in the information you're giving him. I'm drinking more water. I still can't tolerate water that well. I don't know why. I really don't know. And before I go to bed, I have a glass of water with lemon, but not. I just let the hot water with lemon, but I just let the lemon soak in the water. I just leave it there. I don't squeeze it, because I notice if I squeeze the juice into the cup, then the heartburn is a killer for me, which I don't suffer that much from heartburn. And I thank God for that, because it's just sometimes intolerable. For the ladies out there, the surgery has messed up my cycle. I've missed a month, but that wasn't that's not something that's not normal. It's happened in the past, but I miss it a lot frequently. My days are mixed up, so I never know when it's coming, honestly. And in my 3rd month, I'm very hungry. I get very hungry. So that's another thing, excuse me, that I'm gonna have to talk to with my surgeon. I'm probably not eating enough, honestly. I probably think I am, and I'm not. So that's something I'll have to address with him, because that's something I don't want to do. I don't know, do you guys have any questions for me? Oh, here's the thing I wanted to say. I've been having to buy clothes for work. I didn't want to, but I had to, because things were, it just looked ridiculous and not professional, and I work in a professional environment. So what I did was, and it was so frustrating, because I would find the sales, order the stuff to the home, and it wouldn't fit. It'd be too big. And I was like, I don't understand. I went from a 14 to a 10, a 12 to a 10 to a 8 to a 6, like in 3 months. And it was very frustrating to me that, and I didn't want to buy clothes. So what I did was I changed the style of clothes.